Thank you to everyone for coming. You can sit. Welcome to the wedding at Yosemite National Park. I can't imagine a better venue than to have this wedding, in particular this spot, Glacier Point. And I was walking around this morning reflecting on this spot in particular, and this is famous for the photograph, which many of you have seen, of President Teddy Roosevelt and John Muir, the founder of our national parks, coming together and forming a bond, a pact to preserve our national parks. Everyone knows what a fan Pavlina and Eric are of our parks and have backpacked it across many times over. And it seemed very fitting that they were forming their union here at the same time. John Muir and Teddy Roosevelt, giants of their time, and Pavlina and Eric pretty much the same, as I said. I had to. I've seen their love blossom from the very beginning. I remember driving to snow camping with Pavlina, and she was letting me know that she was really hoping to find that person, that special person. And right afterwards, I got a call, and yeah, she and I had girl talk. That's okay. And she let me know she found this incredible guy, and then I met him, and I agreed. And I've been on countless trips with them. And I just realized, and I tell everyone, they really formed this incredible unit. I don't know what you're supposed to have to form a marriage, but I know that whatever that thing is that you can't put your finger on, they have it. Because even when they have disagreements on the trail, they just learn from each other. They have disagreements on any number of things, which way to go, what food to eat, anything that happen on a backpacking trip. They always get past it in the same way, which I'm told from my married friends you're supposed to. Eric concedes. But he's teaching her too. When we were going over a dry run at their house of how we were going to go about all this, Pavlina asked if I wanted a beer, and Eric taught her that beer doesn't actually go in 2 juice glasses to give. So they're constantly learning from each other. And I absolutely have the utmost respect for them, and I just have really enjoyed watching them come together. They're fabulous together, and may everyone here someday find a love that these two have found in each other. They selected a reading from John Muir, which is very fitting for them and certainly for this place for me to read. It's called Mountain Thoughts. Here it is. He is calm so deep, grasses cease waving. Wonderful how completely everything in wild nature fits into us, as if truly part and parent of us. The sun shines not on us, but in us. The rivers flow not past, but through us. Thrilling, tingling, vibrating every fiber and cell of the substance of our bodies, making them glide and sing. The trees wave and the flowers bloom in our bodies as well as our souls. And every bird's song, wind song, and tremendous storm, song of the rocks in the heart of the mountains is our song, our very own, our sings of love. Eric and Pavlina have selected 2 additional readings of personal significance to commemorate the day and have asked friends and family to present them. The first will be presented by Elaine.
This is a poem attributed to Pam Ayres, but you should know that the author is actually unknown. He never leaves the seat up or wet towels up on the floor. The toothpaste has the lid on, and he always shuts the door. He's very clean and tidy, though he may sometimes delude. Leave your shoes out at your peril. In a second, they'll have moved. She's a very active person, as are all her many friends, whereas he likes lazy days, she'll drag him to the mountains. He romances her and dines her, nice restaurants and the like. He even knows her favorite food and spoils her day and night. She's thoughtful when he looks at her, a smile upon his face. Will he look that good in 50 years when his dentures aren't in place? He says he loves her figure and her mental prowess too, but when gravity takes her over, will she charm with her IQ? She says she loves his kindness and his patience is a must, and of course she thinks he's handsome, which in her eyes is a plus. They're both not wholly perfect, but who are we to judge? He can be pig-headed, whereas she won't even budge. All that said and done, they love the time they spent together. And I hope, as I'm sure you do, that this fine day will last forever. He'll be more than just her husband. He'll also be her friend. And she'll be more than just his wife. She'll be his soulmate till the end.
Thank you, Elaine. Amy will be presenting the next reading.
This is also from John Muir's Yosemite. It is easier to feel than to realize, or in any way explain, Yosemite grandeur. The magnitudes of the rocks and trees and streams are so delicately harmonized they're mostly hidden. Sheer precipices 3,000 feet high are fringed with tall trees growing close like grass on the brow of a lowland hill, and extending along the feet of these precipices, a ribbon of meadow a mile wide and 7 or 8 long, that seems like a strip a farmer might mow in less than a day. Waterfalls, 500 to 1,000 or 2,000 feet high, are so subordinated to the mighty cliffs over which they pour that they seem like wisps of smoke, gentle as floating clouds, though their voices fill the valley and make the rocks tremble. The mountains, too, along the eastern sky, and the domes in front of them, and this succession of smooth, rounded waves between, swelling higher, higher, with dark woods in their hollows, serene in massive, exuberant bulk and beauty, tend yet more to hide the grandeur of the Yosemite Temple and make it appear as a subdued, subordinate feature of the vast, harmonious landscape. Thus, every attempt to appreciate any one feature is beaten down by the overwhelming influence of all the others. And as if this were not enough, lo, in the sky arises another mountain range with topography as rugged and substantial looking as the one beneath it. Snowy peaks and domes and shadowy Yosemite valleys, another version of the snowy Sierra, a new creation heralded by a thunderstorm. How fiercely, devoutly wild is nature, in the midst of her beauty-loving tenderness, painting lilies, watering them, caressing them with a gentle hand, going from flower to flower like a gardener while building rock mountains and cloud mountains full of lightning and rain. Gladly we run for shelter beneath an overhanging cliff and examine the reassuring ferns and mosses, gentle love tokens growing in cracks and chinks. Daisies, too, and ivesias confiding wild children of light, too small to fear. To these, one's heart goes home, and the voices of the storm become gentle. Now the sun breaks forth and fragrant steam arises. The birds are out singing on the edges of the groves. The west is flaming in gold and purple, ready for the ceremony of the sunset, and back I go to camp with my notes and pictures, the best of them printed in my minds and dreams. A fruitful day without measured beginning or ending, a terrestrial eternity.
Thank you, Amy. Eric and Pavlina have written their own vows, which they will now read. I, Eric, take you, Pavlina, to be my wife. Before our family and friends, I vow to keep you well supplied with flowers, to not be grumpy when woken at 5 a.m. for weekend trips to the middle of absolutely nowhere, to provide warmth for your hands and feet, to make sure you always feel right, even when you're not. I promise to listen for what you mean rather than for what you say, to help you when you need help, and I will turn to you when I need help, to compromise and work with you as equals to build a life together. I take you with all your faults and all your strengths, as I offer myself to you with all my faults and strengths. I choose you as the person with whom I will spend the rest of my life.
I, Paulina, take you, Eric, to be my husband. For our family and friends, I vow to not fill our calendar with trips to the mountains every weekend, to make sure that there is milk and chocolate in the house all the time, to keep you active enough that you can eat what I bake, to make sure that you can sleep to 9 a.m. on weekends, unless of course we are leaving for a trip. I promise to love you unconditionally, to support you in your goals, to laugh with you and cry with you. I take you with all your faults and strengths, as I offer myself to you with my faults and strengths. I choose you as the person with whom I will spend the rest of my life.
Eric, do you take Pavlina to be your lawfully wedded wife? Will you love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, in adversity and prosperity, for better or worse, throughout all the days of your life? I do. Pavlina, do you take Eric to be your lawfully wedded husband? Will you love him, comfort him, honor and keep him, in sickness and in health, in adversity and prosperity, for better or worse, throughout all the days of your life?
I do.
May we have the rings, please?
It's Fargo time.
Yeah.
And now, inasmuch as Eric Weigel and Pavlina Rozova have consented together in marriage and have declared the same before witnesses, and thereto have given and pledged their love and faithfulness, each to the other, by the virtue of the authority vested in me, I pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
No pressure.
You're looking at me, you're done, you're married.
So feel free to blow some bubbles. We thought that now would be a good time for the group photo with everyone. So if you'd all like to come down and get a photo in front of Halfdome.